without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. I'm attracting, no accidents, that's fate. Just go in and have a little faith. And faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. I ain't trying to trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my grind, yeah. Have a little faith and go to work. Go to work. Yeah. Go to work. Go to work. Yeah. Okay. Now go nuts.
Hey there, I'm Trevor Houston, the creator of the Who You Know Summit, and I'd like to welcome you to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
On our program, we'd like to show you a job search like you've never seen.
Everything from getting noticed by employers, how to properly format your resume, and how to network effectively using LinkedIn to drive recruiters to your profile.
We even take suggestions from our amazing community.
So if you want to learn all things job search, go ahead and subscribe now.
Focus. It's all about the job search. So if you want to learn how to land that next success, you heard them. All you got to do is subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on a thing. Well, welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but who you know?
Right.
How you know makes all the difference in your job search.
2021 is over, y'all.
Man, almost. We got a few more days up in here.
No more shows, though. You know what I'm saying?
No. We're not done. We're not done.
2021, y'all.
I'm super excited. We've got a very special guest in the house.
There he is.
Ryan Sullivan in the house with us today. But before we get to all that fun stuff, we'll get to you in a second, all right?
Sounds good, brother.
Chill.
I'm here.
Relax.
Chilling.
Okay, relax. We'll get to you. Hold on. Let's go to the audience. Let's see who we got in the audience with us. Let's see who we got.
Do we have Meg Rose? Meg Rose, are you out there? Did I see you? Did you have a good Christmas?
Lena Stutz, David Kavanaugh. Who else?
Stutz.
We got Mike Mediterranean.
Mike
Mediterranean. Chris Thompson, Chad Phillips, Uni Elder. Hey, Uni. And yes, Meg Rose is there. Yolanda
Rose in the
Ford,
house.
Eric Krishner, and a ton more. Who you got?
Lena's in there? I see Grady Gibbs. What's up, Grady?
Hey, I got a quick
Baxter.
thing I'd like to ask the audience real quick. Something real fast. I'm going to test something. I'm just testing something out, okay?
I
know Lena Stutz. She's already streaming this show right now from her page. So shout out to Lena.
Yep.
Okay.
Lena and I hung out this couple of days ago.
So I want to say thank you first and foremost, because what's better than a share is a restream pair. Okay, so using the new restream pairs will allow you to actually have this show going live from your page. So a special shout out to Lena. I know Mike Mediterranean's done it before as well. So Mike, shout out to you. Thank you. But they're changing it up a little bit to where you can actually, you should be able to, and I want to test it right now. You should be able to connect now as we are live.
Oh.
Okay, as we are live. So here's what I'd like for you to do in the audience right now. Okay, if you would like this show to be pumping live from your platform.
Share it.
Right? No, not share. Restream pair.
Restream pair. Okay.
Not the share button. I'm testing something here, okay? So
Restream pair, y'all.
in the description, okay, you'll see a link that says, want to go live with us? And then there's a link. So go ahead and click that link. During the commercial break, I'm going to see if I can get it connected to go boom from your page as well. So we'll check it out. Let's see if it works. We'll test it.
Technology.
Yeah, technology. I'm about to do something never been done before.
Technology.
All right.
You know, we're good at that on the show.
All right, now I want to reward some of our top engagers. Okay, we got some people in the house that are always watching, tuning into the show, engaging, and I want to reward you. So, in third place, let's get a drum roll. Third place, we got...
Who's third place?
Neil Anson.
Hey, congrats, Neil.
Neil is
in
my
second
man,
place,
50 grand.
who do we got? Mark?
We got, well, I don't know. Are they in order? We got
Well, it shows there.
Come on, man, the number's there.
Ann Neff.
And Neff.
Oh, snap. No. She was first place. She was first place. The numbers
see,
are
that's
out.
all you, bro.
Yeah,
that's all
me.
you, bro.
That's me.
All right, we got.
me.
We're live,
Man,
baby.
we
Cat
didn't mean to
O'Toole
do
is
that.
in second place.
Cat, we know you got
Cat
it all.
O'Toole, congratulations.
Cat
O'Toole.
Yes, Cat.
I got confused.
No, it's my fault. This is all wrong. It's all wrong.
Numbers
That's
are
a Trev
flipped.
thing.
I messed the whole show up.
Wow.
Beauty of live.
That's a live
But
show.
In first place, congratulations to Ann.
52. Hey, that's great. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. The comments can actually get you landed.
They can, and here's how that works.
And that's happened before.
It has. How it works is we need to know what you're searching for. So put a hashtag project management, hashtag QA, hashtag whatever it is that you do. And we got an audience of recruiters and hiring managers that watch the show. Sometimes they're watching it live. Sometimes they're watching it after. Matter of fact, if you are if you are in the hiring capacity, if you're a recruiter, hiring manager, coach, something like that, I want you to put hashtag now hiring. Go ahead and identify yourself. If it's your first time, I want to hear from you too, because I want to welcome you to the show. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
And recruiters, that's why I share the show with you guys all week and even into the next week.
Yeah, and I got a couple to point out specifically. Sharon Luckich is in.
Hey,
so Sharon. Yeah, Sharon Luckich is here. I don't know if she's recruiting, but Penny Sprague is here. And she has been, she's a alum, and so she has been sending job positions constantly.
Really
yeah,
good.
she's been updating. I know a lot of you are, so
that.
keep those coming.
So, okay, I'm going to give a shout out right here. You got Eric Krishner, hashtag now hiring. Look at that.
There you go.
He is. Chad Phillips, hashtag now hiring.
Yes, sir.
See, Jason Hopper, shame on you. We know it's not your first time.
Christina is.
Jason's the first time.
You a lie. You a lie, Craig. Craig,
Slow that roll real quick. Calm it down.
Bye, Craig.
But even, like Lena Stutz, she hires, right?
Yeah.
She's
She
placing
does.
people. Yeah.
And is going to be. I'll share that story with you.
All right, cool.
Later on.
Go ahead.
Okay, so here, guys, check this out. These are our landings.
Oh, yeah.
Paired up.
Let's celebrate.
Just for you.
Well, hey, you know what? Get your cash flow and your donut emojis ready. Y'all ready? Y'all ready with your cash flow?
Let me get my gun.
Who we got?
Okay, the first shot goes out to Michelle Lawson.
Show.
And then Brianna Bass. Howard.
Money flow.
And Ryan
Man, I'm
Howard
rich.
is on the East Coast. Howard's a recruiter.
Yeah, right.
Howard
All right.
landed
Here, I'll let you reload.
Get that
man.
East Coast represent.
East Coast.
How do I do it?
So Emma Foreman
To put these
and
Congrats.
Abby Turner,
Turner,
Gotta-
congrats.
and Marianne Mondial.
Marianne,
Oh.
congrats.
David Caruso. Yes, sir. Yes,
Caruso, all right.
sir. Chris Anderson. How about that?
Yes.
All right.
What about Denny Kinnemer?
Let's
Denny,
go.
if I didn't get
Let's
that
go.
right, let me know how to do that, Denny.
Recycle.
Carrie
Whoa.
Mickens.
All right,
Okay,
Carrie.
and not last, but definitely not least, is Amrita Susan Jacob up in Canada. Amrita, I told you I was going to give you a shout out.
Nice.
All right, Amber.
There's
go.
money, Amrita.
Hey.
There's money, Amrita.
That's a lot,
There's
dog.
money. I'm out of money,
That is
Amrita.
a lot. And it is the holiday season, so number one,
Yeah,
what a great
Merry Christmas.
present.
Yeah.
Start to the new year.
Yes, sir.
But also, think about that. This is the time when a lot of people slow down or stop their activity, and you do not want to do that.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So, why did all those people? Why did we just rattle off like I don't know,
Quite a few.
20 people or something like?
Quite a few, you guys.
Because here's the deal: these companies, they've got a budget, okay?
Wow.
And they got a year-end budget. They got to spend this money.
They bust their
Got to
budget out
spend it. Got to get it gone, right? Got to get it out of here because otherwise, and that's why some companies are waiting for first quarter so they get new budget. And some of them got to blow through that budget.
Some of them
now.
got to get it done now or they'll lose it.
They'll lose it.
Well, or they have the budget that starts first quarter, but they got to get that position filled.
I used to have to
for
get
that
my
new
budget out of the way, guys, before the end of the year.
So, guys, it's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about money. It's a cash flow game. So, you got to get your cash flow. This is like playing Monopoly or something. It's all about getting the cash flow. Get the cash flow.
St. James Place.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Go to jail.
All right.
Hey,
well, we got to
we
pray.
forgot.
We got to start this. We got to kick this off right.
Yeah, let's
So-
go to the Lord. Who?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. A lot to be thankful for. Even
Much.
if you are
Thank
still
you, Lord.
searching, even if you still feel like you're in a position where there's not a lot to be thankful for, there always is. So let's go to the Lord. If you would bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything that you do for us, everything that you continue to do for us, and everything that you will do for us. We know that you have a plan for us. It's to help us, not to hurt us. There are a lot of people out there right now that are hurting, that maybe feel that they're not worth, right, what they should be, that they're not getting noticed, that they're not that they're not valued. And so we want you to know that we lift them up to you, that we want to encourage them, that we know that you're there to support them and give them what they need, not what always that they want, but what they need. And especially during the holidays, Lord, it's a tough time for a lot of people. And even, I want to pray for Trevor's family because, they've gone through some stuff this last weekend. And so we want to make sure that we're lifting those that are hurting up in prayer, that you'll give them comfort, give them just energy, right, to keep on fighting the good fight, and that they would turn their eyes to you and look for you to support them and sustain them. And be with us as we start this new year. Be with all of our leaders, our political figures that we've appointed over us, that you would just help them to make the right decisions as we move into this new year, new time, and new era for us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. So, and thank you. I appreciate that. All right, we got a lot of events and a lot of things going on that we need to talk about. So in the new year, we've got February 2nd. We've got our 300th episode, 4-year anniversary coming up. So I'm real excited about that. You guys need to make sure that if you want to join us in studio, we're going to be having a big party.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to be throwing a big party for our 300th episode. So put hashtag 300 down there in the comments if you want to join us. I'll send you an invite if you're here in Dallas or you want to travel and come in town, right? You know what that's all about.
Oh, yeah, man.
Get on that airplane.
Very seamless, man.
Don't be scared. Get on the airplane.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, get on the
here.
plane. Come on in.
All the way from East Coast, man. It's like, no matter where you're at, you can get here.
That's right. That's right. So hashtag 300 if you want to join us for our live studio audience. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be good.
And that is February
2nd.
February 2nd.
February 2nd.
You get to come into that, and then you might even get to go watch the Cowboys in the Super Bowl then the weekend after. So
That's true, because we're going.
maybe. Maybe.
No, we're going. Did y'all see that game? Oh my goodness.
We'll know who won all the bowl games and stuff by then. At least the ones.
Washington
Yeah,
got
that's right.
smacked up. All right.
Washington got
The other thing I
blowed.
want to talk about real quickly is we have our Career Transition Summit. So I pulled it up. If we can pull that up in the stream. And guys, this is something that's all new. I'm changing things up just a little bit. So we've got our Career Transition Summit and what is it? January 5th.
5th.
Yeah, January 5th. So in just a few days, I want you guys to come join us in the summit, whether you've been there or not, okay? I want you to come join us, and I'm going to show you how to get noticed, how to get out of the black hole, how to rehumanize your search, get decision makers involved, and, get you back to your cash flow. That's what this is all about. Let me help you get back to your cash flow. So
You
come.
guys, I want to throw something out on that. This information that you guys get at the summit is absolutely tried and true and tested.
Oh, yeah.
So what you guys here shared with you in that summit, guys, do it. Okay? Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Well, I will say this. There's a percentage of people who take action. Mm-hmm. And
There you
there's
go.
a percentage of people who don't.
There you go.
And I also get to see results. And so you know who's taking action, who's not, who's getting results, who's not. So, hey, you get out of this life what you put into
What
it.
you put in,
That's it.
you
Bottom
reap what
line.
you sow, I think is what I read.
And I love a lot of you. Well, I love all of you. But I will also say this.
All these.
I love all of you, straight up. But there's also some people who like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make
Let them drink. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So I ain't even stressing about that no more because I just know there's some people I can't help.
You can't help.
There are some people I know I can't help. I want to help you. I love you. I seriously, I'll do everything for you, but I can't make you drink.
You know, nobody can want it for you, man.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, nobody can want it more
for you.
than you
exactly.
for yourself.
Nobody's gonna do anything else for you. Like, you got you, and then you can go out and help, right? Like, you guys worked a lot on you, so then you can go help. But these people are trying to give you the answers.
Yeah.
So they
I'm
give you the
trying to
answers. Go do it.
I'm trying to give you a shortcut.
Yep.
A shortcut to your cash flow. That's what I'm trying to do. Get you back to your cash flow. That dollar bill went
Get you
around and came back.
That's a sign.
I have a thought as I'm seeing all these comments in too with the 300th episode. So should we dress like Spartans when on the 300th episode? Is that we gonna
Wow,
dress like
dude.
Spartans?
Okay.
The
You've
300th?
been,
would be-
a little weak
it would
on
be
the
fit the
dad
theme.
jokes lately. You got to
That
wrap it
wasn't,
up.
that wasn't even supposed to be a dad joke.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, real quick. In the chat, I need you to tell me right now if you have been to the summit before. If you've been or you've never been, whatever. Like, I just need to know because I need you all there on the 5th. Everybody on the 5th, okay? Because it's all new. I got some new information for you, okay? If you're searching, let's put it this way. If you are a job seeker, I don't care if you've been through or not, you need to come back through on the 5th, okay? Because I got something a little special for you on the 5th, okay? So come through, connect with us there. Guys, we got to go to a real quick break. Don't go anywhere because we got Ryan in the house.
That one, yeah.
This is my first LinkedIn video. Hi, I'm Kenny Beasley. I've been successful at solving workflow issues that save time, money, and reduce errors in the assembly of control, relief, and highly engineered valves to customer-specified needs. I'm also a firm believer in CRM and have a method to improve revenue, loyalty, and retention through the use of customer experience surveys. By training my team, I have improved workflow processes, deliveries, and set KPIs in safety, quality, and revenue, as well as reduction of internal spending. I seek to grow my network, so please tag any professionals on LinkedIn that you think I should be connected with. Thank you.
If anyone is out there and you're a realtor or you are looking to get your real estate license, it's a very low cost entry, $300 to take your real estate course online. Inexpensive compared to like a college. EXP is $150 to join, and it's like $84 a month. So relatively speaking, these are very inexpensive costs. If you are interested in that and you want to work with me as a realtor, I'd love to have you join my team, and you want to hear about the model, then go to join10xempire.com, and I do this opportunity call every Tuesday. Would love to answer your questions and tell you more about what I'm doing. If anyone out there is interested in working with me.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
Yeah.
Well, what you know is important, but
who y'all know?
Do you know?
Who you know can make all the difference in your job search. Guys, let me tell you who I know. I'm super excited to introduce you to our very special in-person guest today. We've got Ryan Sullivan, and let me read his quick bio real fast, and then we'll chop it up. So, Ryan, for the last 3 years, has dedicated his life to podcasting. And after losing a guest, which I'm really sorry to hear that,
Thank you.
he lost a guest to a car accident, and he went and spoke to a life coach. And the life coach suggested that he quit his job. And after that, he went and spoke with Gary Vee and made the decision to start his own business and help other people launch podcasts. So now we have Podcast Principles.
Yes, sir.
And started in 2020, so in the middle of the COVID. And he's personally helped build over 15 shows from start to finish, including production, distribution, guesting, and more. And so we're super excited to welcome you, Ryan Sullivan. Round of applause.
All right, Ryan.
There we go.
Thanks for joining.
Only one Ryan Sullivan.
So, Ryan, I just want to start and kind of back up with how you ended up getting introduced to the Who You Know show in our community. So first of all, how did you find Who You Know?
Yeah, how'd you find us?
Yeah, and in this kind of LinkedIn environment, it was so I joined LinkedIn when I had a corporate job, like a marketing job, right? And we were supposed to use LinkedIn to get leads or something like that. Some sales stuff that I was like, this is a communication platform. This isn't just like selling people. So I started connecting with people that I wanted to connect with, and I don't really know the exact way that I found you specifically, but you were just, on there posting videos every day. I ended up connecting with you, and I saw probably like one of these shows. I don't even know if it was a clip, but I was like, maybe they have a podcast version of this show. So I did a little deep dive. I started digging, looking around, and I see, it turns out you do have an audio version. And I'm like, unfortunately, I look at the stars. It's like 3.5 stars. I'm like listening to it. I'm like, they can do a little bit more with this. Yeah. Like, we can maybe turn this into a podcast. So that's when I reached out to you, and I was like, hey, let me edit an episode for free and see if you like it, and we kind of went from there. But
and okay, so I want to touch on a couple things. So first of all, for those of you that are watching live right now, we do have a podcast as well. So if you're on the go, you want to plug in, you want to tune in. How many of you, tell me in the chat, if you are subscribed, just put #subscribed. If you're already subscribed right now.
Already on the podcast,
okay.
Yep.
I want you to tell us. If you're not, I want you to go subscribe to the podcast. So we do have an audio version, but it's always been an afterthought, right? Think about it. Look at the show.
Yeah.
Visual. This is a talk show.
Yep.
So it's always been an afterthought for us. And so when he came and he found us and he said, hey, you actually did something that I really want to touch on, and I think it's important for the job seekers to know. You didn't just say, hey, let me edit an episode for you. You didn't come in the DM, start spamming me.
Nope.
Which is what a lot of people do.
Yep.
You actually went and edited one on your own. And you came to me and you said, hey, I want you to listen to both versions. Here's the original.
And I gave you the breakdown. I said, this is what I changed.
Yeah.
And if you think But if you don't think it sounds better, it's not worth it to you. You know what I'm saying? So I said, listen, this is what I changed. This is what I do. But you listen to it.
Yeah.
And you were the determining factor. And
and I'm going to throw in the mic for you. I'm going to give you a mic drop for that because he showed me a problem I didn't even know I had.
Yep.
Right? Literally, he showed me a problem, but he didn't, like a lot of times you get on DMs, people are like, hey, I want to sell you this and that.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? You know?
Yeah.
But he was like, hey, look, here it is. And he gave it to me for free. And he said, hey, here it is. Hey, you tell me,
you know
do you
what
like
it is?
or not?
So they're in get mode, right? I got to get your money. I got to get your time. I got to get whatever I got to get. They're not in the give. I'm like, hey, Trevor, here's 6 things that you know you can fix. Whether I fix it, you can pay somebody cheaper to fix it. You can find somebody else. It doesn't matter. At least you know what to fix, right? That diagnosis, people aren't trying to take the time to do the diagnose. They just want to get.
Yeah.
But you gotta give it. It's like, I don't mind what you do with that information. I'm not saying hire me. When I'm listening to this show, if I want to listen to it as a listener, I'd like for you to fix these things and then I'll be able to listen to it. I kind of just took that listener perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Give first.
Yeah, well, and like you said, it was an afterthought. So we hadn't even really, and I don't know if you had, but I hadn't even really listened to the podcast version. I've listened to our audio and watched the show. But when he brought it over and you said, hey, check this out. First off, he said that. He said, hey, look at what this guy has already done for us.
Yep.
And then he said, check this out. And we listened to it together and it was
night and day.
It was night and day. Yeah.
Night and day difference.
So not only did it fix the problem, but it opened an opportunity for us to expand and capitalize on a new market.
6% of people right now or 10% or 14% are at work right now. They can't even watch, and they might only have 30 minutes in the car when they don't have their kids in the car or whatever it is.
Right.
And then they can go and watch. So I'm an audiophile, I'm an audio engineer, that's what I do, that's where I came from. So I'm thinking of that 6%, 12%, 20% of people who missed the show last week and now want to listen to it in the car. We got to do stuff for them too.
Well, and it also goes to like when you think about like the first segment of this show, we're giving shout outs and we're busting off money guns and doing stuff like that, right?
Yep.
But from an audio standpoint, that may not, from a visual, it's fun, it's all good, everybody's enjoying it in the show, it's fun. But from an audio, when you're listening to that,
that's
like
a whole lot
there's
of,
not a lot of value in that shout out even because it's not relevant to you.
Because you can't look at the comments either of like in that moment.
There's no comments.
Yeah.
Right.
So from an audio standpoint, what we ended up doing was chopping essentially the first segment of the show, all right, and getting straight to the meat of it, which is the interview.
And so people know, just so people know, that is what the audio version is. The audio version is the interviews from the episodes. So that's the type of content that you're getting in the audio version. You're really getting like that raw content, that informational part of the
informational,
show.
cut the fluff.
Exactly.
That's
cut the fluff. I don't know, man. I like the fluff.
Feeding.
I'm like, I like all the fluff.
That's what you're feeding the people right
For
there.
the video,
man.
show,
And they're restricted on time, a lot of them. Anyway.
Yeah. Give the people what they want,
So how did you, when you started that process, right, what turned you on to the whole principle of giving first?
Oh, man. So I had read a lot. I'd consumed a lot of, like you mentioned, Gary Vee. I met Gary Vee. I had been consuming his stuff for probably 7 years, somewhere around there. And it was always like these ways of getting in without that trying to get mentality. And I think it kind of started with that, just watching his content and just, I guess a lot of the times when I got opportunities, it was like right place, right time. Like it was never me trying to force something. I always tried to, whenever I tried, because I'm a real like type A personality controlling person. I think I can control everything. But it turns out when I let go, things just kind of happen. So I had these opportunities in my life where I just kind of let go. I let life take the wheel, man, and like,
I'm a lot like that too.
Yeah. That type A.
What is it about Gary Vee?
were thinking that.
What was it about Gary Vee that stood? Why'd you want to connect with Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think so. He's from 15 minutes away from where I live.
There you go.
That's the one thing I was like, oh man, somebody here has done this crazy thing because I live in a rural community. I come from a high school that has 5 towns into one, and like really small school. And so I just a lot of it's blue collar. You either go to college or you're gonna go into blue collar. You're gonna go farm or you're gonna go be electrician or welder or whatever. And those are amazing jobs. A lot of my friends have those jobs. But with what he was doing, he went from wine to dominating in the wine field, then dominating content creation, and then going into the entrepreneurship and media companies and everything. So I like the multifaceted approach because that stood out to me. Like, I make music, but I also make podcasts. I also edit podcasts. I also, have all these hobbies. I'm just, like you said, type A, like, I'm doing something all the time. Like, for me to take 4 days off from work, like, I just want to work. I'm just like, let's go, let's do something, So I guess I like that. I really resonated with that in his content. So I was like, I really value this too. So cool. How can I just follow these principles? It took me 7 years to start following his advice, but
when did you meet him?
So I met him in 2019. A friend of mine was like, hey, Gary Vee's going to be at his father's liquor store in Jersey. He was like 45 minutes away from us. And it was a friend. I would have never done this without my friend just reaching out to me because he knew I was a fan. And I said, yeah, let's go. So let's do it, man. We wait. So we get there, right? We're plotting it out. Where is he going to be, right? So we wait. We're like, he's going to be right here. There's all the books. I'm like, okay, he's going to be right by the book so he can sign his books. So we're waiting. We wait in line 50, 60 minutes. Get to the line. His second in command dude, D-Rock, there. He was like, hey, man, you can take a picture, but you can't ask him a question. You got to wait in line again. So I said, I'm here, man. I'm waiting in line again. So I wait in line again. So another hour, 2 hours waiting in line. Finally get back to him. I'm like, all right, so, and the whole time in line, obviously you're thinking like, what am I gonna ask this guy?
Yeah.
I wanna ask him something that gets him fired up. And most people are like, I do this, I do that. Like, if you're there, he knows you're doing something. So you don't wanna just tell him like everything you're doing. Once again, like, you don't wanna be like, buy my services, do this, do that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me see if I can reframe it a little bit. So like I said, I'm an artist, I make music. So I just asked him a question about artists and music and how to leverage multiple artists together to create something bigger. And so he went off on that. Like, he was like, the Avengers, and then they have like Iron Man and all this stuff. And so
you get it on film?
Oh, so the craziest part. So months go by, right? I posted on my Instagram, people see it. Months go by, I'm sitting in math class in college, right? And I get all these notifications. I'm like, what's happening right now? My phone's blowing up. I'm like, this isn't every day, man. I'm looking, I'm like, notification. And I go on Instagram, boom, 200,000 views. He posted my video of asking him that question. And it has like 900,000 views now. It's like,
man.
I just got lucky, I think
Well, no, you didn't get lucky.
Question.
You were strategic.
Yeah, with the question,
Yeah,
right?
intentional.
Yeah, everybody else is going to go in there. They're going to say the same old thing that he's heard a million times.
Yep.
Right. So
my friend in front of me, he literally said, hey, man, like, he owns a car detailing, very successful car detailing company. He's like, I'll detail your car. Gary's like, I don't have a car. Like, and so he starts going off on him about how he doesn't have a car. He's like, so, yeah, man, you kind of have to, like, be a little bit more strategic with that, I think. And
and it shows, like, your approach. So I just have to say I appreciate your approach in your giving and how you took it, because you took an episode, cleaned it up, and said, hey, you got a problem. Here it is. I got the solution. What's up?
What's
up? So now we've been doing this for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We've been editing. How many episodes have you edited for us?
270 or somewhere around there.
A lot of episodes.
That's a lot of episodes.
200
lot,
episodes. Yeah. So he's chopping them up. Guys, and when you go to the podcast, you're going to see, like, a lot of times we're going to take one episode, right, and we're going to chop it up into 2, maybe even 3. Right? It just depends on what we have going on. And there's a reason for that. So you want to talk to them a little bit about why we do that, and why we're chopping it up into these segments.
I mean, this is the thing. So with a podcast, it's like I said, you might be listening in your car, you might be going to the gym, you're probably doing something while you're listening. You're not just actively like watching. Obviously, you're not watching something. So we kind of brainstormed a little bit, and we're like, why don't we just pull out the informational piece, the value piece? Because when I listen to a podcast, and I'm just one listener, but I want to get the intro. Who are you guys? What are you doing? And then boom, give me the content, give me the value. So I felt like as you said before, that kind of all this stuff is great, and shooting the money, and on video, it's amazing. It's actually you're very active with the audience in that way. But a podcast is actually a little bit more passive. So let's take the more passive version of the portion of the show, and let's put that on the platform. So let's adapt to the platform. LinkedIn, Facebook, IG, whatever. Let's push video for the platform. But audio, podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everybody's listening, everybody's jogging, everybody's walking down the street. Let's adapt to the platform. So let's put out just the interviews.
Yeah, I love it. It was it's good, and since then, right, the listeners.
Yeah, man, we did, I think, like a 30 or 40% bump in listeners. We went from 3.5 stars to 5 stars within like a month.
Hey, we got amazing. 5 stars up in here.
5 stars, baby. Let's go.
Oh,
That's it, man. Yeah.
Okay, for those that are listening that may be thinking about doing a podcast or something like that, because a lot of the companies that watch us end up doing podcasts. Even some of the job seekers end up doing it. But what could help someone besides editing the audio itself? What are some other things that could help someone take their from a 3-star to a 5-star, or to raise the quality of their show?
Number one, this is something that I learned pretty recently, actually, and something that I now do with all of my episodes. I sit and listen to the episode. I've done 2 or 3 hour podcasts, and I will sit and listen to this episode, and if I get bored, I know I got to change something up.
Got to change something.
So you got to think about it. It's like, sure, you might think this content's great, but it turns out the audience is always right. The audience is always smarter than you. The audience will tell you if this show was good or not, because they're the consumer. They're the person that's at the end of the line, right?
They're the ultimate judge.
So you're assuming, hey, I'm going to put out this song. It's going to be amazing. Well, the audience is going to let you know how good it is. So that's how I look at it with podcasts now, too, of, okay, how can I get into that listener's perspective and be in their mindset? Because take the show, you guys sitting here right now versus you watching it over there, versus if you walk down the street and listen to it, you're going to have 5 different critiques because you're in a different environment listening.
Oh, totally.
So that's what I would do.
Is there any kind of like, I know with YouTube, you get the little analytics chart that shows you, okay, here they went, and then all of a sudden, they've dropped off the video.
That watch time,
at a certain time. Is there anything like that with podcasts?
There is, but I haven't heard that it's accurate. Not the platforms that I use don't have it. The ones that I've seen, I've just heard a lot, and this is just super anecdotal, and I don't use those platforms that give you your listen time like in the span of an episode, so I'm not sure, but I've just heard a lot about them not being accurate. I think the YouTube one is very accurate, so that's the thing of you at least have that data on the YouTube version.
Right.
But unfortunately, so that's the one thing about podcasts too. It's like you really don't know who's listening.
Yeah.
You kind of know when, like you look at the stats day to day, month to month, but that's the thing. So what do you guys do? You have an entire comment section. You have an entire community, right? So you got to build these other things around your podcast to get those new metrics and really understand who's listening and all those things.
I'm going to give you a mic drop because your comment, the audience, right, is that's your gauge, right? If the audience is telling you that it's good or bad, it's good or bad because they're saying it is. Yeah. That's a life lesson, right? I mean, with almost anything, right? Because a lot of for our audience too, everybody here in this room, everybody listening, like when we think something is good, like
compared to what?
Compared to what? And like for job seekers, like, oh, I'm I interview well, my resume is great and everything. If your audience is not hiring you, then it's not, or anything else, any other application in life, right? It's perception. So we may be coming off a certain way, and we know how we intended it, but if somebody else perceives it a different way.
Oh, true.
We've got a whole network that we've started years ago. And this show is part of that network. And if it was not feeding the people what they needed to hear, if they didn't value it, they wouldn't be here.
You guys give people what they like. Why do you have that webinar? It's not because you guys are like, all right, man, like this is what I think, and this is all about my ideas. It's like, nah, man, we've done 300 shows to know what job seekers need. It's like, that's why we have this webinar, guys. Like, It's not because we're the master guru people that just automatically know. Nah, we've only just taken real world examples of what's worked.
Right,
That's
we've
why
experienced
we
it ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a mic right there too.
3 mics.
Hey, that's the truth, y'all. I'm just saying. I mean, that's straight up truth. All right. Okay. So let's talk about podcasting for job seekers, and we've touched on this subject before with some previous guests. We've had Sebastian on, we've had 𝙒𝙤 on, and some other folks that do podcasting. What are your thoughts about podcasting for job seekers? First of all, should they do it? Second of all, how are they going to do it? Is it going to be affordable? Are there tools out there, resources that they can do it, where they don't have to shell out a lot of money and things like that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple different ways that I would look at it. I don't even think as a job seeker you have to even release the podcast to be honest. Like, you could do it if you had very minimal time, very minimal resources, very minimal money. You could just frame it as, hey, this is a podcast. It's going to go, I'm not sure when it's going to go out. Like, I'm doing this to test run my podcast. And then your strategy, obviously, you got to think about the strategy. That's maybe just the production side. The strategy side is, okay, listen, I'm in this industry. I just want to talk to other people within this industry. You guys know informational interviews are great, but nobody wants to, hey, let me pick your brain, man. Nobody wants to do that anymore.
No, ain't nobody got time for that.
Exactly. When you're getting 500 DMs a day, nobody wants to do that, right?
Yeah.
So let's frame it as a podcast. Let's come up on Zoom. Let's record it. Let's just say, hey, I might release some clips of this as some content. I'll probably release it in the future. I'm going to put together a 20-episode season right now, and then I'm going to decide to release it. Now, not everybody is going to accept that interview request, right? But a lot of people will.
Yeah.
And a lot of CEOs will, and a lot of people in your industry, people below you. I don't care if you're interviewing the janitor, he works there, right? Like, I'm just looking at this as, how do I build, because I'm trying to get in job seeker perspective of, how do I build relationships with people who are one person away from the person, two people away from the person, janitor, 3 people. Janitor, he cleans the CEO's office. He's one person away to me. So I'm just looking at that, like, don't worry about the post-production and the clips and the audio and the video. Like, and that's my realm. I want to tell you to get the best quality everything, right? But it turns out that when you're a job seeker, let's do the same thing that we do with everything. Exactly. Get the FaceTime. Let's reverse engineer from the goal. My goal, get one person away from the person I need. Cool. Let's record an interview and maybe release it. If not, no worries. You still built that relationship. Go give them 5 clips from the interview that they can post that benefit them. Go showcase them to your network and your audience. I don't care if you have 100 followers, right? So it's kind of like, that's how I look at it. I could get into the details.
Yeah. But build that relationship.
Well, okay, and so what I like what you're saying is, actually, I taught a webinar just a couple weeks ago, LinkedIn Live for job search. Right? And how to use Restream. Restream's a free tool that you can get you an account, and now we can shotgun approach this thing all over LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all these channels. So you're not only recording that episode, but you're getting the visibility, right? And you're getting the word out, and you do it live. So forget doing this thing where it's not live and you do it behind the scene. No. People need to know what's going on.
And the power is, like, man, that's actually probably the final piece of that, is that takes away all of my, like, don't worry about the production stuff. Okay, yeah, you don't have to worry about it when it goes out live to all your platforms automatically, right? And so, like, all right, cool, maybe sit down with somebody who understands live streams a little better than you, pay them for their time, and they'll teach you exactly what to do. That's about it.
I'll tell you what, I got something better than that. If anybody has ever used Zoom before, how many of you in the chat right now, tell me if you've used a Zoom? Hopefully.
100%.
Okay, right?
I used a Zoom an hour before this.
So you used a Zoom, but do you remember the first time you used a Zoom? The very first time. Okay?
Oh, man.
So the very first time you used that Zoom, you're probably like, but then how long did it take before you were like, oh, I know exactly where I'm going? It probably took you 1 time, maybe 2.
Maybe, yeah.
Right? Yep. Before you literally know exactly where everything is on that Zoom, right? Restream is the exact same way, guys.
Yeah.
Restream, I'm telling you, it's so simple, it's so easy, and it makes you look like a freaking professional with all these graphics and logos and all these different pop-ups and images, and it makes you look like $1 million, like you have a professional studio and you're doing it all high-end production. Yep. And it's as easy to use as Zoom is.
And if you're looking for a job, you want people to think of you as the subject matter expert anyway, right?
Boom.
Yeah, you have to position yourself that way.
Yeah.
Guys, we got to go to a real quick break. We got so much more to chop it up with, okay? We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, come work for the most innovative company in the world, 10X Incubator. We're launching 10,000, listen to me, 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. If you're a coder, what?
We got coders, we got graphic designers, we got copywriters, digital marketers, biz dev.
You name it.
You got
you
skill.
Like tech, love tech, want to be in tech, okay? We don't actually require that you get the jab here either. Just so you know, like if you want it, good. If you don't want it, no problem. We are hiring. We want you. If you're good at your job, if you're disciplined, if you want to be paid well, if you want to be taken care of, if you want to be in a 10X environment, click the link below. Give us your resume and a short video, 30-second video. Just tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. We want you. We want you.
Let's go.
We want you.
You know you have something unique to offer your next employer, whether it's your experience or your work ethic or your passion or your personality. But how do you stand out from the crowd when you're stuck sending plain text emails that lack personality, lack humanity, and worst of all, look like every other email in the inbox? Job seekers just like you are discovering how easy it is to put their humanity back into their communication and back into their job search with BombBomb Video. Visit BombBomb.com to start a free trial today and rehumanize your job search.
Hey, what's up?
I haven't found anyone.
Here, try Hirect. It helps you find people fast, direct, and it's free. Okay, so you start by clicking on his profile, then you click on the chat, and then there you go.
Hi, Mark.
Oops.
Nice to meet you. Hirect in my phone. Who's the best among you all?
Hirect, specialized for startups.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Jab Networking Show.
Who you know?
Where what you know is important, but who you know?
Who you know might get you a mic drop.
It
Yeah,
might.
that's right. And it can make all the difference in your job search.
It definitely can. Hey, so we were talking with Ryan before the commercial break, and during the commercial break we were talking about a tool or an app, I think it is. You hear Gary Vee talking about it a lot. What's that app called again?
Yeah, so it's called Anchor.fm. And by the way, I have no affiliation with this. I just think that what they're doing is, by the way, Spotify owns it now too, so you got a lot more connectability. I could go into the details of that, but basically what this is you can create a podcast, boom, right from your phone. You don't need a computer, right? And the beauty of it is too, so you're on Zoom, right? We just talked about Zoom. Who's staring right at you? You. So for some people, that's a little weird. Obviously, you can turn it off, but sometimes it gets, even when you're talking to other people all day. So with Anchor, you download the app, it's completely free, sign up with your email, no strings attached, literally. Place it right here, record your podcast. I interviewed somebody the other day who has 3 million downloads. He started the first 10, 20, 30 episodes on his phone. If he would have never done that, he would have never had a podcast that has this kind of mass appeal. So it can literally start right on your phone.
He just did those meetings and recorded himself on his phone?
Yeah, so for those of you that have some kind of stage fright, camera shy, whatever, fear of public speaking, those kinds of deals. And we were just talking about Restream is one great way. That's live streaming. That's one great way to do it. But you may have a little bit of fear with that camera, right? So here's a different approach. And Anchor is free?
It's free.
Free. So free app. And you just put your phone down and just talk, right? And it could just be you. Now, can you do interviews that way?
This is what I would do.
Okay.
I would do the Zoom or the Zoom to the Restream or however you're doing the video on, or just using Restream that'll pump it out to the YouTubes and the LinkedIns and all that. And then I would have your phone right on the side here,
and it's recording
the audio. Now, if you have a microphone, let's just record it on the computer. But at the end of the day, or right after, you just upload it to Anchor. You can edit on there. You can even make graphics on there. I would suggest using Canva. That's free. I literally use it for professional graphics that I've made for my podcast. But using it for years, I never touched Photoshop. I've done every DIY thing, free trial thing that you could do, and so that's definitely what I would recommend.
So that's the thing, guys. You need to be thinking about is, look, the tools are out there.
Yep.
Matter of fact, most of them are in your hand. Okay, the power you have in your hand is crazy. So, are you utilizing these tools to get noticed, to become visible, to get outside that box, right? You have to get seen or heard, right? We're talking about podcasting. People need to know you exist. They need to know what you do, and they need to know that you're the expert.
Yep. And think about this. You're in somebody's ear. Like this isn't just like they're watching TV and just like also on their phone while they're watching. Like you're in connection with somebody right here while that you're in their ear. Like that's a different way of consuming something. It's a lot more intimate.
But Ryan, what are they gonna think about me if I do this?
Turns out that anything that you think that they're gonna think is wrong.
Oh, say it again. Say it again.
Anything that you think that they're gonna think is wrong.
Oh, that's good.
So just do it.
I want to go to like
That's true.
starting your own business. Okay, so founding principles, but before that, let's rewind because leading up to that, you had a life coach, and I heard Trevor say that your life coach told you to quit your job. So what was behind that? Like, why did they tell you that? And then what brought you to your business?
Yeah, and so that's a great question. It's probably not how you would think it went. So what happened was, during in college, I started editing podcasts, right? I was a mechanic for 5 years. You know, I love that job. I really enjoy working on cars, but I kind of, every night I would come home and I would do podcasts and music and all the stuff that I really love doing, all my passions, right? So I said, how can I take this thing and make it my day-to-day thing? So in college, I got a ton of time, right? And so I just apply for freelancing jobs, and I'm like months and months I'm applying. I literally made $80 in 3 months. And I'm like, we're good to go. Let's keep it going. And so I'm like, this is cool. I made $80. Like I could probably make 100 or 200. So I come across this company. I apply. I actually booked a call with the CEO to get the job because I ran out of credits on Upwork, the freelance platform I was using. So I just acted like I was a business. I applied for this. The guy took the call for some reason, and we ended up working together. He really liked the approach, and he asked me to do a podcast for him. So I'm basically, down the line. There's just so many details, so I don't want to belabor the point, but a few months go by, 4, 6, 8 months I'm working for this company, and I think over a year I ended up working for them and I'm doing my job was edit the podcast, launch the podcast, do the video, do everything podcast related for this company. I'm ecstatic because I'm doing what I really want to do, and I'm getting paid what I was getting paid on my old job. So I'm like, this is amazing. So, but as you know, and things that happen to businesses, as you continue to go, some of those things that you do almost for fun or for marketing or for content, kind of go to the wayside. Yeah, man. And now it's a job. And now the company goes, well, we got to focus on sales, and you got to get on LinkedIn and start DMing people and all this stuff. But I'm like, hey, dude, if we just focus on the podcast, we'd be good, right? Like if we just did that and just
it'll drive that
through. Yeah, exactly. So what happened was that didn't happen. So podcast went on the back burner. They have me doing sales, whatever. I'm doing okay. I'm still at the same point I'm at, but I'm like, this podcast is not happening. So one day that was a point in time when there was a point in time, a month straight, I was working remote, but I ended up working in person for them for like a month when I was on Christmas break from school. And my commute was 4 hours. It was 2 hours to the city, 8-hour day, and 2 hours back. And so I was just done, man. I was just done. I couldn't handle it. I slept in one morning, and my boss was like, you got to talk to this life coach. Like, you've just missed these emails, and you got to get your life straightened out. So I talked to this guy named Tim, and never talked to him again. Tim, I really appreciate you, man, but I never even saw him again. But we get on this call, 1 hour call, right? And he's like, we get to the end of the call, great conversation, hears me out. He's like, yeah, man, I think you got to do podcasts and music. He's like, I think that's where you should be. By the way, my company paid for that call. So they paid him to talk to me for him to say,
quit your job.
Quit your job. So that's how I ended up on that call. I will say he's not like my life coach. I don't have a life coach. I've talked to a lot of coaches. I'm friends with a lot of them. We never spoke after that, but that kind of set me on a trajectory of, man, I agree with this guy. Why don't I just do this?
Yeah.
So now you started your own business, right? And talk to us about what that looks like. I'm sure there were some challenges. You're in the middle of 2020.
Yeah.
Actually, shoot, hold on. I don't know the story. I don't know the backstory, but I'm thinking 2020, man, there were so many more podcasts that got created in 2020 because of COVID. Did that help, hurt?
Oh, COVID.
Was it hard, challenging, or did you get a good start? How did it work for you?
No, I really, I don't want to downplay anything that happened to anybody during COVID, but for me, it was obviously the social aspect of it. I wish, like I'm a DJ on the weekends, I perform live, I do all that stuff. I'm a very social person. That sucked. Like I didn't like that portion of it. Yeah. But I will say, as you said, a lot of people were starting podcasts, and it also, it wasn't like it is now, where it's like everybody is just down for the podcast. They like accept the medium. They know it's going to work. This was really when people were like, podcasting might be a thing. Idea. We might be able to use it, but we don't know. So it was there's a little less information out about podcasting and the popularity. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of struggles. I started it in March 2020. So quit my job in February 2020. Had plans to start it in March 2020.
February 2020.
Yep.
Guys, God works in mysterious ways.
That's what I'm saying.
He quit his job in February 2020.
Yep. And by the way, I'll premise, like, I was in college, like, I did have, like, some side jobs and stuff.
Was that scary? Like, okay, so I could just imagine you quit your job, I quit.
Yep.
You're like, forget this.
Yep.
I quit. It's February. Then the world shuts down.
And the rent got to get paid, and you're like, what's happening?
Get paid.
Yeah, and you're trying to like make back those expenses, you know. But yeah, so I remember talking to my family, my roommate. I remember the job asked me to come back 2 months later, right? And I'm still at the point where I'm literally making $200 a month doing my editing or whatever. I couldn't even like pay my bills. I'm just going off of savings. And my roommate goes, yeah, dude, $300 a week. You have to take it back. Just do a little bit of work for them. And now my roommate who said that works for me now. And by the way, he was looking out for my best interest.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah,
but,
good friend. Yeah,
man.
Yep.
But I
that's
didn't take
what's up, man.
Okay,
so how many people you got working for you now?
So we got a core team of just 3 of us. We got myself, Jack Gallagher. Shout out to you, Jack. He's project management, client success. Then we got Aaron Smilo. He is the executive assistant and kind of handles all of our back end stuff.
You guys hearing that? You guys hearing that? So he quits his job. Got nothing to run with, but hey, look at you now, and you got people working for you. You got a business. It's successful. Mm-hmm. You've got how many shows that you're?
So we have 8 monthly shows that we edit for.
Okay.
And I've launched like 15 to 20 different podcasts. Some of them aren't still going. Some are. But.
Do you do your own?
Yeah. So I've had my own show for almost 4 years now. I know you guys are coming up on 4 years. I started that when I was in community college, when I had like no direction. Right. I'm like, this is another point in my life where before all this happened, and everybody else goes away to college, I'm like, all right, man, like I always wanted to start a podcast. I had watched Joe Rogan for years, had watched Tim Ferriss, Gary Vee, all these people for years, and just kind of started it up, did 2 episodes, just me and the camera, found somebody at college who made 6 figures on the stock market in a year, had them be a guest, and we've done like 80 guests so far. So we're at like episode 80, or I think 83 or something.
Nice.
You know what seems crazy to me, and this is a little bit off the rails, but I was in IT sales and I worked with schools, and back in like 2005, 2006, that's when GarageBand was real big, and like there were podcasts out then, and Apple had their podcast store, and like, but it wasn't mainstream yet, and I don't think people knew where it was gonna go. Now look where it is. So my question I guess would be, where do you think it's going?
So I think that this is a little out there, but I think that Web 3.0 is very promising. I think that...
What the heck is Web 3.0?
Yeah.
So, man, I'm not the one to explain this for sure, but I will try. So, okay, so you got...
The meta? Is it the meta stuff?
Yeah, it's involved in that.
Meta,
you got like the internet before the .com bust, right? So that's like late 90s. Then after that, .com bust, .com boom happens. Then we go into Web 2.0. That's what we've been in since early 2000s.
We've been in there, yeah.
Right? And now Web 3.0
Flat
is
screens.
Exactly that whole thing.
Web 3.
Everybody's on the internet, right? 10 years ago,
you're
do you have
the internet?
You're in the internet.
Did Al Gore invent that too?
Yeah.
Did Al Gore invent that too? Right? The internet? Didn't he invent the internet?
Man, that's because South Park always did a good one on that. But yeah, so basically Web 3.0 is kind of this age we're going into now. Is everything's tied to cryptocurrency. Everything is tied to decentralized systems. Everything's tied to the blockchain. And really, what it is pushing against any regulation on the internet, and really creating a place where everybody, it's autonomous, right? So no one person can say, oh, I'm going to make all the decisions for this, just like how Zuckerberg can for Facebook, and how anybody who controls, it's not, moving forward, it won't really be a business making decisions, it'll be a mass group of people, and kind of be an autonomous organization. Now this seems like another language. I'm not the person that knows this intimately, but I see podcasting being a large part of this.
Yeah.
And also just the fact that, this is the thing, right? you're a job seeker, you're your own media company now, right? Because businesses now are all their own media companies, whether they want to or not. They make the decision. That marketing people aren't writing blogs anymore. They're making podcasts, they're creating videos, content, all that. So as a job seeker, now you're your own media company. And as a person on LinkedIn, as a personal brand, whoever you are, you're making media. If you're sitting down writing a post every day, that's media. You can consider yourself basically a little media company. So everything is going to be media focused, and the influencers are going to have all the power. The individual people are going to have all the power, not Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I love these platforms, but it turns out that when you start your email list and you funnel them to your website
Wait, hold up. So you saying Snooki gonna have all the power?
Her fans are gonna pay $12.99 a month to be on her Patreon. They probably do it right now.
Yeah,
so all that money's going to creators' pockets, right? And so that's the beauty of decentralizing it too, where you don't have an arbitrary number. Hey, we take 30%. Nope.
No.
I got 100. I get 100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy because, so where we're at reminds me a little bit of when the internet, right, was 1.0 was coming out and people were getting email accounts and things like that.
I was two, so I didn't.
Yeah, and there were other people, right, that were saying, and cell phones, right? Cell phones happened. People were like, And so now it's cryptocurrency and Meta and just this global community.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
People are like, nah.
I said this. Hold on. When COVID happened, and I actually said it before that, but I have a video. I'll pull it up. I talked about, you think Zoom is happening? No, we're going to be having our Zoom meeting where there's 100 people in the meeting.
You know what one of the biggest gifts this year was?
But it's going to be on
Oculus.
Yeah. But you're going to have 100 people in the same room as you, just putting this thing on. But you're going to be in California, you're going to be in Arkansas, you're going to be in Canada. But we're all going to be on the moon, right?
Somebody will probably be
like,
on
we're
the moon.
just here, we're going to be in here, but it's like, right?
Well, like I said, that was one of the biggest gifts this year is virtual VR headset.
But it's been around. That's the thing of all this. TikTok's been around for 8 years, man. Yeah, everybody's blowing up about TikTok now. It's been around, right? Everything, same thing. Oculus, electric cars were around in the 40s and 50s. Now Tesla's popular. It's like a lot of this stuff. It really takes somebody to make it consumable and make it right for the consumer, and that comes right back down to what we talked about in the beginning.
Well, it goes on that point, right? I've said this before too. So imagine Facebook. It's an amazing platform. It can do a lot of stuff. It really can do just about everything. But imagine Facebook with no people in it. It's useless. Right? So
that's a good point.
So a VR with nobody in it is useless, right? So it takes a little bit of time to percolate. We got to get some people in there. We got to get.
Once 4 of your friends are on Facebook, now you're on, right? Once 5 of your friends are in VR, now you're on. Yes.
Yeah. So it takes a little time to get people in and get people accepting. But then all of a sudden, we got 1 million people in here. And you start to see it and you go, okay. Then everybody jumps in.
Gains traction,
Then everybody hops in.
And there's a spectrum of those people, early adopters, right? I don't remember the early adopters and late adopters, and there's people in the middle somewhere that have a different term for that. But yeah, that's what the early adopters are right now.
Well, what a lot of companies do too is when they're in beta, is they pay influencers and they pay people that stars and celebrities and things like that. They'll pay them to use it, right? They give them early access. They give them and they give them the little check mark. You get the influencer check mark, and you get this and you get that, and they give them all these perks, and a lot of times they pay them just to use their platform.
That's reminded me of LinkedIn Live. Remember with that whole process we've gone through LinkedIn Live?
Yeah, Clubhouse too did it with the invites, which was very interesting.
That's right. Clubhouse.
Yeah, with the invites. All right, you have to know somebody.
Now you got. It was about the who do you know?
Yeah.
Who you know?
Oh, I don't have an invite. Who can I get to send me an invite?
Yeah. That's so funny. It's fun to talk about these things because there's a lot of stuff changing, and the world of technology is moving so fast. Guys, there's no longer can you just sit around. Like, you've got to be adaptable. You've got to be, if there's a problem that you're faced with, there is a solution. Go to YouTube, figure it out. All right? You can't just sit. You have to adapt. You got to go try it. There's a solution out there. most likely it's in your pocket already.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But just sitting there thinking, oh, woe is me, I got this problem. No, you got to go figure it out. Figure it out.
It's changing the way we think, our methodology, the way we do things, how we operate in life.
Yep. Well, that's just what I see. I see a lot of people that, because we're training all the time. I get people that want us to do it for them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, no, I will show you.
You guys' careers.
I'll tell you about something. Like, I'm going to say, hey, look, I told you guys earlier, use Restream. Remember, I was talking about that. You want me to do it for you?
For a while.
If you want me to do it for you, get ready for... It's going to cost you because nothing is free in this world.
Nothing's free, y'all.
You could go to YouTube and watch some videos that'll show you how to do it.
They show you how to do it.
And you can figure it out. Next thing you know, you're having a show like ours. Just saying.
We're getting down to time. I know we had talked about, and you've got a great new offer that you're doing, right? So
yeah, it's giveaway. Let's do our giveaway.
Yeah, and that's going to a giveaway. So.
Yeah. So we gotta go. We're gonna give some stuff away. First of all, why don't you tell the audience what we're giving away?
Cool.
And so we're gonna tell them what we're doing.
All right. So anybody who direct messaged me, just reach out to me after the show. I am going to give you my podcast guesting guide. That's a 12-page, 4-step guide on how to be a guest on podcast. It's not some high-level thing. It's actually basically the 4 basic things you got to have right. And at the end, I give you actual scripts that I use to be a guest on podcast and a checklist, so you make sure you go through all those things, what to include in that email, right?
I like this even better. Let me tell you. Okay, it's a lot of work to start up your own podcast.
Truth.
But what if you could just be a guest on other people's podcasts?
Yep.
What if you could get on other people's shows and say, yeah, you know what? I'm looking for this job at Coca-Cola. And the whole world gets to hear you. You get to get on Joe Rogan's podcast and say, I want a job at Coca-Cola. You don't think a few people are going to hear that? You don't think some things are going to start moving?
Especially if you position yourself on that podcast as the expert.
Oh, and how about this? How about this? Find the podcast, right, using social media and the tools we have, with the audience that has the people that you need to get connected with. And I'll show you how to do that in the guide as well.
So 12-page podcast guesting guide. I love that. And then we're going to give one, what are we going to do for one super lucky member?
Yep. So what I used to do is I used to do a 60-minute consultation for people, really because they asked. It wasn't even something that I invented. But what I did was I realized that 60 minutes is a little bit fast. So we upgraded that to 90 minutes now. It's $500 value, and that's completely free for our.
Oh, wow.
So what that does is, I'll talk about it a little bit. So if you're a job seeker, we will tailor that to what a job seeker needs. If you're in sales, we'll tailor that to what a salesperson needs. Is anything podcast related? If you want to spend 30 minutes on guesting, hey, I don't know if I'm going to start my show. How can I be the best guest and get booked on X amount of podcasts? We'll tailor it to that. So it's a 90-minute call based on your actual needs of whoever it is.
Love that. Let's go. Cash flow. All right.
Cash flow.
So we got to ask the audience a question, okay? And
you got a question?
You got one, or you want?
You got one?
I ain't got one.
Okay. What was he doing? Like, where was he at, or what was he in when Ryan started his podcast? He said he was.
Occupation, you're saying?
Yeah, he said he was doing something or in something when he started his podcast.
All right, let us know. And while we're waiting, I want to give some shout outs to our audience. We got Cameron
Toth.
Yeah, we got Michael Jones. Who? Michael Jones. We got Cameron. We got Holly. We got Martha. Rosanna. I see you. Jack. What's up, Jack Ɓousma in the house?
Well, that's your Jack. That's our Jack.
Yeah.
No, that's your Jack. Everybody got a Jack, guys.
Everybody got a Jack.
Josh Ferris, who has actually done a lot of content creation and editing. He was in Career Search, and through the Who You Know, got inspired and started doing a lot of that.
All right. Stories right there, baby.
Are you out there? Are you listening?
I think we got an answer, okay? So, let's give a drum roll. We got Eric Christer in the house. I see Mechanic. Was he Mechanic?
Mechanic for 5 years, baby. Eric, you're the man, dude.
All right.
Working on the car.
Eric
Shout out to
Christer.
Eric.
Bump up the
Let's do it. I'm hyped, man. I'm ready.
You got 90 minutes, okay? And we're going to figure out how to, make a little extra this or get some visibility or whatever we need.
You'd be surprised what'll happen with all this stuff, guys.
It works. Look, guys, it isn't going away. Let me put it that way. It is the future, okay?
It is.
Wait, what do you mean future? We're in it. It's the present. Yep. It's not the future. It's the present. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, you're in it. We're living this life.
2 days you got to forget. Tomorrow, yesterday. Yeah. We're living right now today.
Ooh, I need a mic. Throw the mic.
Mic on that, yeah.
All right, I'm going to pull up your website. You want to tell the folks about your website and all that good stuff?
Yeah, sure. So we're Podcast Principles. We're a full-service podcast launch company. So what that means is we do production, but we also help you strategize your show as well. So on there we have, testimonials, some of the shows that we've been a part of. I will say this is just the base version of our site, but what we're going to do is in the new year, we're launching 2 things. Podcasting and content creation for personal brands. That's a Discord community that we're launching. Oh. So you can talk to people who've been creating content and also people who are just starting. And we're also launching The Podcast Principles, a podcast all about podcasting as well. So
a podcast about podcasting. Woo! I like that. Wow. Podcast about podcasting.
That's why I did that.
I like that. That's pretty good. Well, guys, make sure you connect with Ryan. Matter of fact, if we can do something, if we can get a screenshot of everybody in the screen there, and if you guys can post that all over your social media, this is your content, okay? Take the screenshot, post it. Tell Ryan how much you appreciate him. He's given his time, his value. He's upgraded this show. Guys, let me put it to you this way. We got to get the word out, all right? We got to get the word out. We're trying to help people out there in this community, so we got to get the word out, and he's helping us do that. So I love you, Ryan. You're amazing. I really do appreciate you. And real quick, what's your favorite show that you got right now? You got 15 shows. What's your favorite?
Ooh, okay, that's hard. But I will say I got to shout out to my guy Jesse Fuchsia.
Okay.
For Wealth Science. It's all about creating passive income. As anybody, the average person can create passive income for themselves. He's got a lot of goals. Wealth Science, there's like 12 episodes out right now. Definitely should go check that out.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
it's a good one.
Well, Science.
Check it out.
You gotta go check it out.
And then who you know, right?
Yeah, and then who you know.
Yeah, we can
Justin, guys, you guys are my longest standing show.
We can handle it.
So we're the longest. I gotta plug the own show. You got it. What's up?
We're the longest standing show. Huh?
You guys are my longest standing show ever.
Oh, cool.
Most episodes I've ever done, ever edited.
Look, y'all, we doing the thing out here. Y'all need to go and subscribe to the dang podcast.
Everybody got to work, y'all.
Yep.
Everybody got to work. God said it back in Genesis.
Well,
remember?
No, that's so true. Hold on, because right now y'all are watching the live stream because you ain't working, right? But guess what? Y'all gonna get back to work.
Some of you guys are working.
I need you listening when you're at work.
Now that's real value when you guys are working.
You'll be listening. Yeah.
That's it. We got to plug the pod, baby.
Yeah.
Plug that pod. Get in your ears.
Yeah.
Get in that head.
Guys, that's the show.
That's
all about
who you know.
Trevor Houston here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Who You Know Job Networking Show. We hope you've been inspired, encouraged, educated, and entertained all at the same time. For information on our different events, workshops, partners, or partnership opportunities available, check out whoyouknow.show for more details. And be on the lookout for our new mobile app. You never know how this show could help someone you know? And if we've made an impact or put a smile on your face today, don't forget to hit that share button on your way out. Until next week, it's all about who you know. Bye!
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared.